everyone, it's been a little while, I've been busy. I'll expect sporadic updates because I just can't do it as much as I was before. I'm working on a new team at work. Anyway, here's the Daiya update.
Presented by Quinrose.
And we're on the second save slot right here. So. She's like, what? To Blood? Why does that invite happen to come up in the current conversation flow, she asked herself. It's ridiculous here, as usual. And she tells him aloud, shouting, I don't know what to do. And to herself, she's like, Blood's carefree now. Well, carefreeness now is great, but don't ask me for something similar. I've been almost killed so many times, and I can't seem to be able to wander around here safe. She's like, it's not a good idea.
君の気が向かなくても、私はそんな気分なんだ。退屈が紛らわせそうだし、よそ者にも興味がある。
Blood tells her, even if you don't care, that's how I feel about it. I feel like it's boring here, and now I'm interested in the rest of this with you. It's going to remain boring otherwise. And so I'm interested in the outsider. He's like basically saying you'll do what I want because I'm interested in you now. Good old Blood, just to avoid boredom.
門番にはよくよく言い聞かせておくからね。安心して訪ねてくるといい。
In reference to her visiting, he's like, I'll often have to say something to the gatekeepers. I hope you can come and visit with peace of mind. And Alice aloud's like, feel relief, eh? And then she asks him after a pause, do you know what you are saying? She's to herself saying it's not normal here to invite her to the mansion while suspecting that she is a reporter for a rival, like a conspirator. And if accused, it would be more natural if she was tortured and executed on the spot. She's thinking this to herself and she's like, what is he doing? She's like, Blood would actually do that. I mean, he's pretty much thrown away the party line to him that I'm a correspondent. Like, thrown it out there that he thinks that she is. And Alice continues, she's like, I don't think he's completely skeptical of me. A small possibility of that is within the parameters I can think of in the limited bounds of availability to my own spare time. She's like, with the little time that I have to think on this, this is what I can conclude. She's like, in the limited bounds of availability to my spare time here. And she's like, but I don't have any obligation to go out on a limb to do this whimsy with him. She's like, I don't have any, like, incentive to go along with this. And she asks him aloud, she's like, is this a place where people can easily come? She thinks to herself, he'll tell the gatekeepers, but my opponents are D and dumb. They would have forgotten me by then, and I don't think they would hear the words in time. Like to stop. And here's like a kind of sideline threat. He's like, well, you're the one who decides if you come, and I'm the one who decides your treatment at that time. He's like, so it'll depend on my whim. Then he goes into this. He's like, there's a lot better idea to get rid of my boredom. If you live here instead throughout your time, it's better to have more to relieve boredom on the subject of if you can get out of here alive. So he's like, here's a lot better of an idea to rid me of my boredom. If you live here throughout your time, it's better for me. And on the subject, also, the answer will tell me if you can get out of here alive, basically. He's threatening her right now, and she knows it. Alice turned away. She was like, no response for a second. And here she confirms it to herself. She's like, that is, what he's saying is if you refuse to visit them here, they'll kill me. And aloud, she tells him, to herself, she's like, at the same time, he says he will kill you if you don't understand what he's saying. I noticed that as something that came out of his mouth. And if you don't know what he's talking about, he's serious that you'll be killed. Love it. Now Elliott's freaking out. Daiya Elliott, who I don't like. He's like, Blood, you can't put this guy in the mansion. Now Blood's gonna freak out, because this is like the third time that Elliott's like questioned him. Yeah, Blood's like no response for a second. And now he's gonna lose his crap. Yeah. He pulled it. He's like, boom! A boom sounds, and Blood's gun is in Elliott's face because he's pissed off. Alice is like basically in the corner here, kind of shocked. She's like, oh my gosh, he lost it. But we knew this was coming. Alice is like, gunshots ring out, and I shrink, like, unintentionally. Like, I shrank to the corner. The sound effects for distress are coming from Elliott here. He's like, ugh. Alice to herself is like, Bloodshot Elliott. I was wondering how long he had the gun out. Of course, it's not a machine gun, but a regular gun. He's really mad. He tells Elliott, you'll always make me feel this. More disappointed than ever before. And Elliott's like, I'm sorry. Trailing off. He tells him, I'm not disappointed in myself, but in you. I wonder if a dog can do it better now, too. He's like, your job. Blood tells him it's a miserable and frustrating thing as an owner. It's apparently a dog that's too clumsy. Should it be responsibly disposed of? And he's talking about Elliott as the it. He's like, it is apparently a dog that's too clumsy. Should it be responsibly disposed of? Yeah, he's pissed. He is a Don, I mean a Mafia Don in this game. So now Elliott's trying to defend his case, and he's referencing himself as the dog. He's like, it, himself. It is also a hard-working dog. I hope you still use it, and I'll learn things in time, he told him. Trying to be, like, up and down on the humility here. But it's a little too late, he pissed off Blood. Like, he really, really made him mad. Alright. Blood's like, I'm keeping it alive because I hope so, referencing Elliott. And he's like, you too, young lady. And now he's referencing Alice. She's like, Blood suddenly turns around and smiles at me mysteriously. He's like, I hope it will help you get rid of your boredom too. And then he pauses and says, from the bottom of my heart. Freaking Blood. He just threatened her into like visiting him, and he's like, by the way, I'm keeping you alive to relieve my boredom in the hopes you become useful. What the heck, Blood? She's like, aloud, you don't have a heart. Which is true. They have clocks instead of hearts that get repaired whenever they die, and then they become new people and replace the people that are in there that just died. So yeah. She's like, you don't have a heart. That statement's invalid. And then she's talking to herself. She's like, and I mean it in a different sense from the fact that he literally doesn't have a heart. She's like, I meant it in the other way too, that he's literally heartless in emotions. She's like correcting herself. And then she tells him aloud, I'll take advantage of my fickle luck then. What I don't want is the gatekeepers to kill me. So she confirmed that she understood what he was saying. Now he's questioning her. He's like, well, what else do you know about the Hatter house? Because she's far more familiar than he would have expected. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you the rest, is what he's saying here. And now he's saying, that's a good idea. You too, also, referencing the people that are going to randomly show up right after here. So he's like, it's a good idea to tell you the rest and show you around. And a servant appeared, that's a servant speaking, saying, yes, I understand. Now they were actually apparently hiding, about to strike like Elliott was, because the maid tells him now that she's like appeared fully. She's like, I can't kill this person. I almost killed her though, she confirmed to Blood. And Alice freaks out. She's like, eh? Servants, sprites appear, and Alice is like, when I look back, there they are. I didn't notice their existence. It didn't seem like they just appeared. But since when have they been there, planning to do it? And she's like, questioning, like, since when have they been there about to kill me? Blood tells her what? Didn't you understand that they were there? They were attached to you from the beginning, Miss Young Lady. The servant's like, yes, she was totally exploring the mansion. And if the boss didn't speak just now, we would have killed her. The maid's like, it was a very sad place for her to be. Like, in a position for her to be. Alice to herself is like, the servants of the Hatter Mansion. No, the words of the members are horrifying. Like in the Land of Hearts, I seem to have been saved only by Blood's whims. More horrifyingly, I'm acquainted with most of the Hatter's Mansion servants. Yes, I should have known their face, but now I can't even see it. So she's starting to like lose the ability as she integrates to like differentiate between just the role holders who actually have like substance and like a role versus like basically like the people that are just chattel. Like they literally like recycle these people in this world like so much. That's why none of them place any value on their life, because they just get their heart repaired as a clock and then they're put back out there as a new person. So these people don't really have faces, and you can see that in the game. The only people that have like the full face would be the people that are like the role holders and Alice. So she used to be able to tell, and she used to be able to say like, oh, there's like a slight face behind it in the other games. But now she's like, I can't tell. Like they're new people, like I'm not close to them and I can't tell. But they're still the same people, just like a different version of them in an alternate world, because this is like through the looking glass, that version of these characters, and younger. So it's like backwards in time, kind of, in a new country. So she's basically starting from point zero with everyone, and including these no-face people. She's like, I can't even see it. And she's like, please let me know next time if you're there. She turned to her side and she like just addressed them. The background changes and the sprites leave. Alice is telling herself at the end of saying that line, I turn my back on them. I can't rely on these people, and I can't afford to be spoiled by them anymore. There is no one who I can whine to, but it may have been wrong to come here anyway. If they are what they are known to me as, I couldn't move from here. Like, she's like, I would have been stuck to them. In the case of Nightmare, what I managed to shake off for information is no good, and my memories are going to be ruined here of these people. She's like, should I think on this again? If I have to remain in this world, will it be okay to continue, even if no one else I know is here? She's like, should I move again? Like, how would I move? This place is ruining my memories of these people. She's like, did you stay here because you liked it? Can you remain in a world where nobody likes you? She's questioning herself here. She's like, did I stay here because I liked it? Can I remain in a world where nobody likes me? But they reference it like in the terminology as like you kind of, or it. Sometimes it's the, like they don't really use the same pronouns. So just an explanation there. She talks in third person. It's not just about staying in this world, Alice thinks. If you are able to survive, and you will be able to confirm it through repeated new moves, I have been able to get motivated. And she's like, but that's not the case here. She's like, it was not a place that I was attracted to, though. I was attracted to the people, and so I remain. She's like, that's my whole argument for staying, and now it's gone. However, now I'm in a world where everyone suddenly disappeared. Is this world itself worth it? And the backgrounds change again to the houses that Alice passed on her way to the gates. She's like, after passing through the back alley, the conflict is over and the people are sparse but starting to walk outside. And this is where we're going to leave it for now, you guys. So, we were at the second save spot. We're going to do the third save spot. I think I might actually have the wrong thing there. Let's see. Take a look. Load, okay. Alright. It's been a little while. Here we go. Alright. Save in third spot. Okay. Yes. Save complete. Alrighty.